Hey guys, I'm Orthodon and we are back for Blue Exorcist Season 3, Episode 11. So, we only have a couple more of these, counting this one. I think there was only 12, right? Either way, I'm curious what we're going to be doing for these last couple, because usually there can be one episode of, aftermath and wrapping things up, but we have 2 episodes at the very least, so... I'm curious if we're going to have some more development or anything, interesting is going to happen. I mean, something interesting is going to happen because just watching the show in general is interesting. But yeah, I'm curious what we have to wrap up and what else we're going to see, because it kind of felt like they got out of there. They saved Izumo. Shima took Godoin and they went and left, and so it's like, I don't think there's going to be any more confrontation between our students and the Illuminati, but I guess maybe just some moving pieces, getting things prepped for the next part, because as I said before, I'm pretty sure this is supposed to be 3 parts, I believe I heard. So we're supposed to get 2 more cores like this one, so... But yeah, I'm excited to see, so let's just jump into it and watch it, shall we? We are going to start here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now. Back home? Or tell him about Shima? Oh. Okay. So we're just being told that. I thought we'd be shown it by Shima at one point, which I guess there were little hints. I've been waiting for this reveal, so... Alright, good. I was worried they were gonna, make us wait until the next season or part, or whatever they're calling them. I thought they were gonna leave us hanging on that, but good. Maybe we'll hear the story about how that got started or something. Luckily, I've woken up a little bit. Man, I've been sleeping really poorly, and I've been taking naps usually right before this time, before I record. And I wanted to just keep on napping when I woke up. I had to fight and claw my way to get up. Usually I'm not that bad. Usually I'm I set an alarm, the alarm goes off, I look at my phone for maybe 2 or 3 minutes and I can jump out of bed. But it has been a struggle recently. I was worried about recording. I was like, oh no, sometimes, there have been a few times that I've done my recordings on my channel and I've been very tired, and it's I feel like it's very noticeable, but I'm feeling pretty good now. Yeah, I suppose seeing, all of his friends get angry. So he chose? His hair isn't pink. He actually dyed his hair a different color? Usually anime characters just have naturally colored hair. I figured Mephisto was gonna know about it. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's a prime opportunity, but he is young. Do they have time? I mean, I guess they gave him like a business card. Just yoinked him into the room. Goddamn. Nani? Hmm. Interesting. Damn. You don't gotta be so eager about it, Shima. Making me feel like you could be a triple agent. Ugh. Little nasty tentacle man. What? Just a stealth airship, okay. Damn. You literally did the opposite of what he asked you to do. At least one of the things he did. Ugh, he's like a little slug. I'm just waiting for him to kill him. Yep. Here it is. I was waiting for it. I was like, that whole scene, I was like, I feel like he's just gonna kill him. Yes. Ha! Oh my god. Was it a wig the whole time? How does hair come off perfectly? Goodbye, Godwin. Interesting. A similar scar to what we were seeing on the season. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I, like, tried to hold it in to raise my arm and finish what I was saying, and I thought I could. And the first one kind of came out. My bad. That was awkward. What? Oh my god. What are you doing, Ren? You just trying to cheer everyone up? I feel like that's not a good way to cheer someone up. Oh my god, of course. He's back. What? Alright. I love Shami's reaction. She's just, huh? I just thought I was being tested. What is your daily life like? Okay, so everybody knows. I mean, they were all there when they were told, so. Hmm. Yeah, he's worried about him. So did they just send him back to like go undercover in True Cross? Is that what the Illuminati thinks? Jesus. God damn. Oh no! Expel scumbags! Oh my god. Jesus. What? Was he naked? Is that why? Is that why she freaked out? Hell. Never mind. There might have been another joke there. I love when they say English words in subbed anime. Just, holy shito! Oh no. Oh, gross. crazy that they're so casually talking about it, open in school and everything. Like, I know the secret's majority out, but you can still try to keep it a secret. Assuming he's still a spy. Well, just kill him. Yep. That sounds about right. Okay, we're seeing this. That's good. Well, damn. Yeah. Ha 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 ha. Oh yeah. True. That's what I expected. Just accepts it. Hmm. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. Everyone's just questioning him now. Playing chess. We get it. Needless to tell you. Me too? Hmm. Jeez. Ugh. Creepy. You're digressing. Hmm. I believe in what he says. Alright. Nice. Yeah, he reminds me a lot more of Rin's adoptive father, right? Uh Shoot, what was his name? Damn. I don't think I ever wrote his name down in my notes. It was like Fushimoto, maybe, or something like that? Yeah, I never wrote the name down. Derp. I rewatched the show and I was like, oh, I'll remember, and then 11 weeks later after rewatching, I'm like, eh. That was a very I don't trust you face. Oh. Did he? We didn't see that, right? Uh-oh. What? What? What does that mean? What was that look? Interesting. So, Yuki had a secret meeting with Lucifer? Well, damn. I guess next episode, we know what that one's gonna be about. Learning about whatever's going on with that. Are we gonna be left with some kind of cliffhanger of, like, Yuki doing some sketchy shit and, like, leaving, or... I don't know. Fujimoto? Why do I keep wanting to say that's the name. Let's see here. I'm gonna look it up while the outro plays. Ayo, no, Exorcist. Boom. Look at the characters of season 1, it'll probably be more likely to show it there. No, I don't want... Wait, what? How did I get episodes? Oh, I guess it is episodes, duh. Fujimoto Shiro! Yeah. Right? Shiro, right? Yeah, okay. That is it for episode 11! Cool. At least I actually remembered the name. That was, like, the first thing that came to mind, but it was, like, I wasn't sure. But yeah, Lewin Light reminds me a lot of him, where, like he said, I'm not like Angel or the other top brass. Like, he seems to be that more lax, like, casual, making jokes kind of thing, rather than being, like, a total hard ass, right? So, definitely an interesting episode. It basically was a whole episode of us coming to terms with the fact that Shima is a double agent. He was, you know, when Toto came to him and gave him the Illuminati card and everything way back when he gave it to his parents, and all that stuff ensued, and decided to make him a double agent. He chose it and everything. So yeah, he also has the black flames, which is second most valuable to the blue flames, which is interesting. Makes him a little more valuable of an asset to the Illuminati. So that's yeah, I mean, I'm glad we found that out. Like I said, I was very concerned that we were gonna have, like, it was just gonna leave us, like, end the season, and then maybe next season we find out that Shima's on our side. But in the I like the way they did it here, because I truly believe that they, like, this could be, like, they can leave it up in the open. Like, right now, I do think that Shima's on our side, but there is still that little twinge of doubt where, like, I'm not entirely sure. There were a couple looks this episode that Shima gave that I feel like it was intended for him to give those looks. Like, I don't know, I almost feel like he was testing the resolve of his friends by giving, like, right there at the end when he was trying to get Bond's approval, and Bond said, "I trust you," and it, like, Shima's look right before Bond said, "I trust him," was, like, very stern, and almost like it was like a stern but also like a smirk, and it felt like ominous. And I don't know if that was him, like, doing that on purpose to try to, maybe there's a part of Shima that feels really guilty about what he's done, and he wants to be judged by his friends, and he wants them to say that he can't be trusted because he wants some kind of punishment for the things that he's done to them, right? So it almost feels like the look he was giving to Bond was almost like egging him on to say, "I don't trust you," but then Bond was like, "I trust him." But then he, like, instantly, like, gave up that face, gave up that facade. So, like, I don't know, but you could look at it another way, where maybe there is a little part of him that is with the Illuminati, you know? But I think I'm, like, 95% sure he's just on our side, and that's how it's gonna be. I don't think they're gonna do, like, a flip-flop thing again where it's like, "Oh no, I'm really with them," you know? But basically, even though I'm almost positive they're not gonna do it, I felt like they left that card open. Like, the way he handled the situation when he was first going into being a spy, and he's like, I can't remember the exact line he said, but there was something he said where I was like, "Ooh, that's like," he said, like, "I'm best suited to this," or, like, "This is the kind of thing that I want to do." I don't know, those, like, I think they said, "You'll have to betray all your friends," and he's like, "Oh, that's what I'm good at," or something like that. Like, the line that he used made it feel real ominous for, like, it was, in my reaction, I actually said, like, you could at least, like, try to, like, feel bad a little bit, right? Like, he didn't even hesitate for a second when he found out that he, would have to betray all his friends and all that. He was just like, "Oh, yep, I can do that." So it's like those little pieces there make me feel like there's a chance that he could actually betray them again, but we'll see. One thing I thought was interesting was when we saw, after, for one, Godoin got vaporized, which is great. I'm so glad he's gone. I'm assuming Godoin was wearing a wig that whole time somehow. I don't know how it stayed on through his whole, like, demon transformation. It just seems weird that he was able to, like, if it wasn't a wig, how did his hair come perfectly off? Is it just an anime thing? Or, because sometimes anime be doing weird stuff like that, right? Because normally your hair isn't connected to each other, right? Like, in a wig, it's connected to, like, a mesh, I think, or something like that. And then that mesh, like, sits on your head, and because of that, that mesh can come off and it can be one whole piece, right? But if you were to just like erase the body but leave the hair, it would just fall into a bunch of like separate strands all over the place. It wouldn't be like a perfect thing that you could like pick up. So I'm gonna go with that he had a wig. Not like it matters, he's dead now regardless, but it's also weird, like why'd the hair stay behind? And it's also kind of funny that the hair stayed behind and then we had Ren coming in with like the Shima wig and all that. Which I never want someone to do that to me. If you're gonna try to cheer me up, don't cheer me up by like, because there's still salty feelings there. Like, he still did, like, even if he is a double agent, that's still a tough pill to swallow. I don't want someone to be like rubbing it in my face the next day as like, you know, trying to make a joke out of it and be silly. Like, do something else. Like, dress up as your brother or something and pretend to be like the teacher, and maybe that could get someone to laugh. It's like imagine if like, to me it'd be similar as if Shima died and then he came in and did that, like, oh look at me, I'm Shima, you know, your dead friend, ha ha ha, you know. And I mean, I know, like, I don't know, whatever, but I thought it was a little messed up. Oh yeah, I didn't finish what I was saying before. What I was going on about was, before I mentioned Godowin dying, Lucifer, when he killed Godowin, his face burned up a little bit, and it was like the same kind of scarring or burning that we saw was happening with Izumo when she was possessed. So we know that, like, I think demons need to have some kind of host to sustain themselves on Earth, right? I can't remember what the name of this overworld is, right? Because I know there's Gehenna, right, which is like hell, and then there's, oh, it's on the tip of my tongue. Did I write it down? I know I wrote Gehenna down. There was an episode where I was trying to figure it out and I looked it up. But did I write the other one down? Wait, did I never even write down Gehenna? I even looked it up and everything. I can't believe I didn't. Oh, I did, Gehenna. But I didn't write the other one down. Damn. Anyway, regardless, it doesn't matter. But yeah, so is that what's wrong with, and his vessel is like burning up, and that's why they were doing like the Izumo tests and everything, because they were trying to, like, if they can make the Ninetales stable within Izumo or Izumo's mom, then they could theoretically do that to him to make him more stable in his vessel. Same with, like, creating, like, the immortality drug. Like, maybe if they use, like, if they made that drug very successful and they could use it on Lucifer without risking his life and stuff, and then make his vessel unkillable, which then it would be able to sustain him. I don't know. It seems like that's what they're trying to do, because I imagine Lucifer isn't, because of his illness and everything, isn't able to go at full strength, right? And as soon as he becomes able to, that's when he's gonna be truly terrifying. Because right now, it's like, I feel like if you can just survive a couple of his attacks, he's just gonna start bleeding from everywhere and pass out, you know? So it's like, right now, I'm not all that scared of him, but I'm scared if he were to get a complete body, which, ironically, the same voice actor as Shigaraki in My Hero is working towards getting a, you know, full and complete body right now to handle his power. So, it's funny, but yeah, I feel like maybe were we told about Lucifer's like vessel breaking down? They might have either hinted at it, or maybe they did tell us and I just didn't think much of it, but seeing like the scarring this episode made it like much more real to me, I guess. And now that we have something to compare it to, seeing like a demon in a body and what happens to it when it breaks down, just having like a lot more to compare to rather than just like being told about it, I don't know. I don't think they actually ever came out and like straight up said it, but you know, I could have forgotten. So anyway, overall, like I enjoy the season. It hasn't been like holy shit, this show is amazing for me. I still think the nostalgia of just season one was like, I don't know. Season one was one of like Ao no Exorcist, which is what I called it back then because I always just watched subbed from the very beginning, and I call it Blue Exorcist now for the YouTube channel mainly because it's easier. It was like the logo, because I usually when I'm doing thumbnails, the main reason I call it Blue Exorcist is because when I'm doing the thumbnails, I do like the logo up in the corner, and the logo for the Japanese version is in full-on Japanese. Like sometimes you can get it to say like Ao no Exorcist, right? And I'd use that, but I could only really get Blue Exorcist, and I feel like that's like for people that speak my language, they probably recognize the show more as that, I would assume, than Ao no Exorcist anyway. So, but where was I going with that? I got distracted. Shit. There was a point to that before just talking about why I like. Oh, season one was like one of the first very very early on animes that I watched. Like I picked up anime, I watched a couple, and then my friend recommended like a ton more to me. I can't remember exactly like when it was that I watched it. I guess hell, I have a anime list now. I might be able to see because I don't know if I ever put the dates on there or if it automatically recognizes the dates. But either way, I watched it a long time ago, and I was like new to anime, so it was really interesting to watch, and I didn't know better either. So like I never really looked into the shows that I watched, so I didn't know that like the whole like ending bit wasn't canon, and in season two they backtracked it and stuff like that. Like I never knew about all that, so I just watched that as it was, and I was like, oh, that's a pretty good show, you know. So, but but yeah, like I feel like this season doesn't live up to the nostalgia I felt for it way back when, but I think that can be said for anything, right? Like if there was a season 2 of some of the other very early shows that I watched, or I guess I should say more seasons, because some of them already had like a season 2 at the time. Like if they did a new season of uh like Excel World, like I don't know if I would like it as much as how I liked it when I was younger, right? And watched it for the first time, and anime was all new to me and like new and exciting and all that. So like same with I don't know, I'm trying to think of some other anime that I watched very early on, because I know Sword Art was like one of my first ones, like that got me. Well, I shouldn't say first ones. When I was a kid, I used to watch things like Naruto and other anime when it was on TV, but it was never like a watch from episode 1 to the end, right? Because I just watched whatever Naruto episode happened to be on TV at the time, and I never really did like a full watch through. And then at one point, I got into watching anime, and I think it was around the time of like Sword Art was like pretty popular, and I watched it because obviously I'm big into video games, so having an isekai, you know, as one of the first isekais I've ever seen was really interesting and really cool. So obviously, at least the first like 8 episodes, I wasn't a big fan of, as soon as they like I wasn't a big fan of like the ending of Sword Art, like the actual game Sword Art. Um and then it moved into like Elfheim or whatever it was, and I don't know, there was some okay moments in that, like when he got his like dual wielding again in that one and like started kicking ass. There were a couple moments where You know, you get that like anime power trip where like suddenly the protagonist powers up and kicks ass, and there's some epic moments like that where like I still like that in that version too. But overall, I wish the whole like stakes of you die in the game, you die in real life, like I wish that continued on throughout like the whole series. Um because I liked the stakes there. I thought it was interesting. I thought they could have done so much more than just get to the top of tower, fight the game master, and you're free, right? All within like the first 12 episodes, I think. So, but anyway, my point is it's hard to beat nostalgia is basically my overall point. So, yeah. Um but it's been enjoyable to watch. It hasn't been like, oh, I gotta watch this show this week, you know? It's just been like, but it's not like My Hero Academia epic where I'm like in tears because the fights and the action is so good that like the character development, like the character development is there and it's good and I enjoy it. Like Izumo's story this season has been phenomenal and all that, and there were a couple times that I got really emotional in regards to it, um but it's just not like it's like I'd probably give this like a I really it's really hard for me to give anything like a 10 if I were. I usually don't rate things with numerical value. I just be like, ah, yes, I enjoyed it, or I enjoyed this one a little bit more. I usually don't give it numerical values. I'd probably give this one like a 7, whereas My Hero is like a 9, and Almost Nothing is like a 10 for me. My Hero would be the closest thing to a 10. Obviously, My Hero's had some slower seasons, so maybe I wouldn't give it a full-on 10 because of that. But anyway, but yeah, so anyway, we got one more, guys. We will talk more in that final one after we watch it and see what that's about, and then we'll have a discussion about the season as a whole and the show and all that some more. So thank you guys. Hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed. Check out my Patreon if you want to see more content from me. You can see early access from my other shows, not for this one since I watch this one week to week as it airs. Also, My Hero is coming back in the next season, which once this show ends, the next season will start, and I will be watching My Hero. There are a lot of other good shows. Demon Slayer's coming back, and I need to watch that at some point too. I don't really have the time to pick up more shows at the moment, even though I really want to, because we have My Hero in the next season. We have Demon Slayer. We have Konosuba, which I think would be really fun to watch. And then eventually, kind of like, I don't mind the show. It's a fun show to watch, but it's one of those that it's like not really crazy to me. I don't feel like rushed that I have to watch it. Is Reincarnated as a Slime season 3. But those 4 shows eventually I would like to do. My Hero is kind of my baby. It's been my favorite anime for like since it released. I've absolutely loved it. Even the slower seasons I've enjoyed, right? So, but yeah, so I'll just be no polls or anything voting for the next one. Usually I do a poll if there's a sequel to a show that I want that's airing, a sequel to a show I've done on the channel, I'll usually do it. But typically if there's no sequels, then I do a poll to vote for it, kind of like this one. This one won a poll for me to do it over all the other ones that aired this season. But anyway, rambling. A lot of rambling in this video. That's gonna be it. As I already said it, subscribe, Patreon link down below, check out all that. I'll see you guys in my future reactions. Bye-bye.